Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I am going to be playing Final Girl again. I like this game. But before I do, I had a couple of people ask me if I would actually walk them through the setup of the game. Now, the setup is a little different depending on the locale and the enemy you're doing, but today I'm going to be playing the Poltergeist of Creech Manor, and the location is Creech Manor. Now, there are some special rules with this game, but I'm going to show you the basic setup for all of it, and then there are a few things that kind of change the rules a little bit. So anytime you draw anytime you place the bad guy's pad here, and if you're not using the neoprene, you just plain use this, okay? You don't have to have the neoprene mat to put it on. So the bad guy has a top half and a lower half. And in the bad guy's box, you're going to find a number of cards with the top half on them and a number of cards with the bottom half on them. Now, some of these cards, I'm not going to look at them, but they have special abilities when they're flipped over. So what you want to do is you want to shuffle these up and just pick one. All right, I'll pick this one and just put it there, and then the rest of them, they go back in the box. Now, for the lower half, there is one card that's called the Epic, and it's this red one. I don't play with the epics until after I win at a location because this is incredibly powerful. So I'm going to place the epic back in there, and then I'm just going to shuffle the three regular half cards and put them there, and then the rest go back in. The lower half is revealed when the terror track gets to dark power, and it says dark power right here. The top half is revealed when the terror deck is empty. Speaking of the terror deck, let's do that. So for the house, there's these symbols on all the cards, like the little house here. So you get some cards with the locale, and you get a lot of terror cards with the enemy. And then what you do is you're supposed to shuffle these together to make one deck. And obviously there are more cards here for the Poltergeist than there are for Creech Manor. So expect to have more of the cards that you pull statistically to be related to helping the bad guy, not causing trouble with the location. But it all depends on how much you shuffle. Now, what you do is you take this, and you're supposed to get 10 cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make two piles: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Put the rest of them away, and I'll pick this pile. I'm not going to look at it. Just put it there on the terror thing, and the rest of the terror cards will go away until the end of the game when you divide them up amongst the locale and the enemy during cleanup. All right, some of the games come with special tokens. These tokens come with Creech Manor, so you just punch them out and keep them where they can be reached. They are usually related either to an event card or a terror card, and that those cards will tell you when to place the tokens in a particular location. So speaking of event cards, you're going to get a number of event cards related to the locale. And again, they have the symbol. There's a little house symbol there, so you'll always know which of the stories that you're playing that a cards go with. It's very nice that they did this to make it easy to clean up a game. And like I said, this game can be mixed and matched. You can play the Creech Manor with Hans the Butcher chasing you through the manor instead of the Poltergeist. But each game comes with one bad guy and one locale, and I'm playing the Poltergeist and Creech Manor, which basically came together. So you put the event card deck down, and we'll draw one of those. Well, we'll go ahead and draw it now. You draw one at the beginning of the game. So Liquid Courage. Victims will follow you into the killer space. All right, that's interesting. So if you end up in the killer space, they will follow you in there. And then you have what's called the setup cards. And in this case, there's 5. I think most of the storylines have 5. Maybe some have more. Shuffle these up and place them, where you can. Here, I'll place them on this up. And you just draw one of these. I'll draw the top one. The rest of the cards go back into the deck. And you flip it over, and what it does is it tells you where to put the killer. There's the K. Where to put you, which is right here. And then the number of victims, these yellow icons, in which rooms. So looking at this, 2 are going to go in the attic. One will go in the closet. Two will go in the trophy room. One goes in here. It's not labeled. One goes in here, not labeled. And one goes in here, not labeled. 1, 2, 3. Oh, forgot. One more goes right here. All right, so all the victims are in their respective rooms. The killer starts in the ballroom. I start in this room. And then this second red token is the terror tracker. You put it where the enemy's current terror track is. In this case, it's on 3. So it starts here, which is nice. It's a little lower, and that's good. It's the horror track, excuse me. All right, so I'm going to leave that up there just for reference. You do have 3 individual tokens, victim tokens, a blue one, a white one, and an orange. These are special victims that may pop up with an event card. I don't think the tarot card calls them, but I think the event cards call them. One of them could be your boyfriend, one of them could be your best friend, another one could be like somebody special that has a special ability. Now, for the item deck, the Poltergeist has an interesting story. There is a young girl named Carolyn who is hiding in here. You're supposed to go find her. And you find her by searching certain rooms, and when you search, you look in certain decks that correspond to the room. So here she could be hiding in the garage, the attic, or the closet. The rules tell you that you get a special rule sheet for the location and one for the enemy. So you got to pay attention to these. Now for the Poltergeist, these 2 item cards are special. They come with it. And they're going to get mixed in with the item cards that came with Creech Manor. But you're not going to you're not going to shuffle them all out. The rules say, this is the exception to it. Take 10 of the chosen location item cards instead of the normal 12 and shuffle them. So there's more likelihood that you're going to get Carolyn. 10. So what you're going to do is these 2 automatically get shuffled in. It says, the Carolyn will always be included, but never start the game face up. Create the item deck as follows. Take 10 of the chosen locations. So I'm just going to take 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so there's 9, right? And you need 10. So I'll take one of these, put it back in here, and take these 2 cards and put them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 cards, and it says shuffle them up. Set aside an item card for each item deck that will be needed. Set aside an item card for each item deck. Take the remaining item cards and shuffle them together with Carolyn. Hold on. Take 10 of the chosen cards, then return the unused to the location. Okay, set aside an item card for each item deck that will be needed. That doesn't make sense. Item deck. An item card for each item deck that we needed. I'm not sure what that means, but what you normally do is you shuffle these, and then you flip up the top one. And if one of the top ones is Carolyn, you have to shuffle it back in. So I've got Mr. Floppy, which is her doll, the energy drink, and the shotgun. Now, the shotgun sounds interesting, but it's really not, because in this game, you cannot kill the Poltergeist. She takes no damage. You cannot kill her. It's just about saving the victims and finding Carolyn and getting out of the house. That's the story here. Now, the rest of these item cards just go back in the pile. Let's see, what else? Okay, so health. The Poltergeist has no health, so I don't have to worry about that. But I am going to be playing Selena. She came with this box. She starts with 6 health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've put out 5 hearts. The 6th heart is going to consist of one of these tokens. Now, on one side, they have +1, +1, +1, +1. When you get down to just 1 health, it says you get to add 1 die to the number of die you roll. But on the back side of them is a mix. Let me show you. There's a mix of blanks and a mix of 1, 2, and 3 hearts. See that? So when you lose your last health, you flip this over. If it's blank, you're dead. If it's got 1, 2, or 3, you have an extra kick of life and you get to come back, but with only that much health left. So what you do is you take these and you sort of mix them up. Try not to flip them over. And you just pick one. I'm going to take that one. And you put it here and you don't look at it. So you don't know what. And then try to take the others and put them back in the box where you don't see, you don't look at it and see what you're missing. All right. The action cards. The action cards are pretty straightforward. They're the same with all of them. There are a bunch of 0 time. These take 0 time. You get to start with those. And then there's other cards that have a cost of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. There are multiples of some cards, and then there are singles of anything 4 or higher. And you put those down, and these are cards that you will buy based on how much time is left over at the end of each of your turns. All right. I have her set up. Her terror track starts right here. Her bloodlust starts at the lowest level. She moves 2 spaces, and when you get a boot, she can move 2 spaces, and she does 1 damage when she gets 1 blade. The victims are all scattered all over Tarnation here. I've got my cards exposed here. I need to search rooms so I can try to find Carolyn, and while I'm also trying to get rid of or get these victims out. They can go out the windows. There are 1, 2, 3 windows where they can exit and get to the safety places where you can tell them to get lost. Selena only needs to save 4 victims before she flips over to her special power, which I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at it. But she's got to rescue 4 before she gets a special ability. And I think that is it. I don't start with anything in my hands. So that is it for setup. Let me take a minute, get a drink, and I'm going to be right back to start this game, and we'll get going. All right, it's time to play. I always get nervous when I play this game, and I think that's the right feeling. I mean, this is a horror game, and I always when I sit down, I'm always antsy about this. So, the Poltergeist starts at the horror level of 3. I did make a mistake earlier when I was setting this up. So what you're supposed to do is set aside 3 random cards that will be placed face up. Then you put Carolyn and Mr. Floppy, her doll, those are 2 cards, in with the other item cards. You shuffle those up, divide them up into 3 piles, and then put 1 card on top of each. So Carolyn and Mr. Fluffy, or Mr. Floppy, are hidden somewhere in here. So I went ahead and reshuffled and got the Lucky Dice card up now. I've got the Liquid Courage. Victims will follow you into the killer space. So it is time to begin. Now, one interesting thing here. Obviously, I want to try and rescue victims because getting victims off the board is going to reduce the Poltergeist's chance of going up in bloodlust, which really is not good. You don't ever want bloodlust increasing. But you've got to be searching for Carolyn because the main goal of the game is to find Carolyn and get out of the house. So as soon as you find her, get out of the house and you win the game. So knowing that, let's get going. I'm going to start with my 0 cost cards. Now, the areas I can search, I start over here, the bad guys down here. The areas I can search are the garage, the attic, right here, and the closet over here. That's where she is. The trophy room is orange, and I'm trying to remember why the trophy room is a different color than the others. I cannot recall, but the only rooms that can be searched are the attic, the closet, and the garage. I am nowhere near any of those. You have some exits out the window, but they are one way. So if you go out a window, the only way you can come in is through the front door and get back in. You can't climb back. Cannot climb back in. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful about going out because once you're out, you got to come back and go back in the front door. So the first thing I want to do is obviously I need to get these 2, since they're closest, I'm just going to move to them and try to move them back to the window and down so that I can get them out. So the way I'm going to do this is, first thing I want to do is I want to roll a focus. Mainly because I want to try and reduce this down to 1, the horror track, so that I can start rolling 3 dice instead of 2. So right now I'm rolling 2 dice, and I need 2 stars to lower it. And I got 1 star and the 2 cards, which means I can sacrifice 2 cards to turn this to a star. I'm going to get rid of short rest and weak attack because I don't need them. those will go away, and this becomes a star. Now, I get to lower this 1, and I gain 2 time. So that's a nice little thing to start the game with. I could do this again, but instead I want to walk, and I just need 1 star to move up to 1 space without losing any health. And I got nothing. And I have no reroll. So on a failure, you either move 1 space, lose a heart, and lose 2 time, or lose 2 time. Well, I'm going to lose a heart, and it's on the floor, because I don't want, I don't want the turn. I want to be able to move 1 space. Sorry. So I'm now in this room. This is gone, and I'm going to play my next walk. I could play the focus and try to lower that. All I need is 1. You know what? I'm going to try the focus to lose. I just need 1 star to roll 3 dice, and I got a star. So this goes down to the 1. So now I get a 3rd die, and I lose 1 time. So I'm down to 7 time. So now I want to do the walk. I need 2 stars so that I can move them 2 spaces. 1, 2, and tell them to get out of here. 2 stars. I got nothing. I failed. So I will lose 2 time, 1, 2, and since I have no more cards to spend, that is the end of my turn. So I have 5 time left. Now what you do is you use your time to buy cards down here. I need to be searching, so I'm automatically always going to try to be buying a search card when I can. So I'll take search for 2, that lowers me to 3. I'm going to buy a sprint for 2, that lowers me down to 1, and then I'm going to get a reroll for 1, and now I'm down to 0. So this is all the cards that I can buy for my next turn. It is now the killer phase. So on the killer phase, the killer will target the nearest victim or me, and they always pick the victim over me unless I'm the last person standing. Then they will move and knife. Pick the nearest victim, move, and knife. Now she moves 2. The nearest victim is going to be this one or this one because they're adjacent. The adjacent is where the numbers are. So that's interesting. So she can go. The Poltergeist can go after this one or this one. It's going to kill one. Doesn't matter which one. So rather than I'm going to leave it to chance. What we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I rolled a 2. So the killer will move 2 spaces and knife this one. This goes into the dead pool right there, and her bloodlust goes up 1. This also goes up 1. So this moves out of the 1 to the 2. So I automatically am back to 2 dice. Not cool. All right, and then after the killer moves and kills, you draw a terror card. A clown doll appears. You may play action cards that inflict damage if you wish. Then, if the clown doll is still alive, you take damage equal to the killer's attack value. You may defend as normal. If you take damage, bloodlust. And then the clown doll disappears. I have no action cards to spend to damage the clown. So I will take damage. I'll take 1 damage, so I lose a heart. And because I took damage, her bloodlust goes up. And because it went up, it triggers her dark power. So this flips over. Her dark power is stiff wind. All of your moves of 2 or more spaces are reduced by 1 space. This game is getting already difficult. That's crazy. So now I can only ever move. All of your moves of 2 or more are reduced by 1. All right. So the terror card, and then it says the clown doll disappears. So there you go. The doll is gone. So it is now the upkeep phase. Well, it's panic phase. If there were any victims in the killer spot, they would flee. But there aren't any, so none of that happens. Upkeep phase, all the cards you spent previously go to the tableau. All the 0 costs I spent go here. And I end up with just these. Now it starts the next action phase. It's my turn. I need to get these guys out of here, so I will do the sprint. 2 stars, it says move up to 3 spaces. However, remember, I'm moving 1 less, so I need to roll good here. I need 2 stars. And I got 1 star. And this says I can play after any horror roll to reroll 1 die. I'm going to burn it. And I'm going to re-roll this one and hope for a star. And I did get it. So it said normally I would move 3. 1, 2, 3. But I can only move 2. So 1, down the ladder, 2, and I tell them to get lost. I saved them. They go back in the pool. And actually, no, they don't. They go to my card. I'm going to choose to lower the this twice. And I'm also going to use it to, I've got 6. I'm going to use it to, it says I can take a search action card or move 1 space. I'm going to take the move 1 space, and I'm going to move here to the front door. Remember, I can't go back up. I cannot go back up. Actually, I can. It's the arrows that are one way. The ladder, there's a ladder here, and it allows for 2-way. So I'm going to use that to go back up to the second floor. Third floor, excuse me. And that leaves me with a search card, which I really can't do anything with. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I was here. I can move 2. 1, 2. They go, and then I'm. Yeah, that's right. So that's where I am. This search, I cannot search in this room because it's not one of the rooms. So that card stays, and that is the end of my turn. It is now the. It is now. What did I get? Yeah, it's now the killer's turn. The killer will target the nearest victim, which is going to be this one, and move 2, 1, 2, and kill. Man, this thing is going to... Oh, the Poltergeist is fast. That's the problem. So this goes up, and that is the end. We draw a terror card. Carolyn, where are you? If Carolyn is not with you, discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, shuffle her back into the item deck of the nearest hiding spot. Do not reveal the top card. Wow, I'm glad that card's gone because that would stink if you found her and then she runs and hides again. But I do have to draw another terror card. The shadows are closing. First off, I lose 2 and I'm back down to 2 again. Then the killer will target the nearest victim, move 2, 1, 2. Oh man, come on. And knife. So another victim gone. This goes up. And this lowers 2, 1, 2. Now she's at 2 damage and 2 move. I'm not doing so well in this game. But I really all I got to do is find Carolyn. So I need to start searching. That is the end of the killer phase. Panic. There's no one to panic. Upkeep. These cards go back into their piles. And then I get all the zeros and any cards left over. You know what I didn't do? I did buy all my cards. Yeah, I did. Did I? Did I do the upkeep phase? I didn't. Hold it. I played the cards. I got back to here, and I said that's the end of my turn, which isn't true because I still have 6 time left. Actually, that's not true. I did a sprint. The sprint used up. I got 2, and it lost me a time, and I did the reroll, which cost nothing. And the search was left. So I have 5 time to build. So hold on. Let's take a walk back and do this. I have 1 card. I can have a maximum of 10 in my hand. With 5 time, I need to do a distraction. I'll take that for 3. That knocks it down to 2. And I also need... I'll have some walks, but I'm going to go ahead and get another sprint. Here, and that takes me down to 0. All right, so now it's my turn. This goes back to 6. I have 3 cards plus the 6 cost zeros, so I have 9 cards in my hand. This is where I need to be. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I really need to get the rest of these victims out because in just on the next Bloodlust, she moves up to 3 per boot. So I need to get her out of here. But I also need to be searching. So the only way I can move up is this room right here. It has a staircase. This one has 2 staircases. So let's do a sprint, see how far I can get. So I know I bought a sprint. Let's do the focus first. The distraction, because I need to be rolling 3 dice. So I'm going to play the distraction. I get to roll 2 dice, and if I get 2 stars, I get to lower this by 2. That's not good. I can turn these into, I'm gonna get rid of the weak attack and short rest to turn one of these to a star, and focus. 1, 2. I could lose a focus. and a walk. I can't do a search. I'm not going to be able to make a search. So I'll get rid of the search and get rid of a focus to turn this one to a star. Now I have 2 stars, which allows me to lower this 2, and I gain 2 time. All right. Now I still need to lower this one. I'm going to use the single focus and try and lower this so I can get 3 dice. I just need 1 star, and I didn't get it. I have to get rid of 3 cards or lose 2 time. I'll lose 2 time, and that goes away. So now all I can do is sprint. Try for 2 stars. I got a star, which allows me to move up to 2, but I remember I can only move 1. So the sprint was a waste, and then I've got 2 walks. The sprint also lowered it by 2 spaces. Move up to 2 spaces and lose a time. Sorry. Walk is a failure, which is 2 time. 1, 2. And then the other walk is a star and a star, which is move up to 2, but I can only move 1. So there. And that is it. I'm out of cards. I've got 3 time left. With that, I will buy a search and a reroll because I'm going to have to find Carolyn soon. And that is it. Killer phase. Moves to near the closest victim. This is the closest victim on the 2nd floor. So 1, 2, and that's as far as the killer will move. Terror card. A behemoth appears. You may play action cards and inflict damage. Otherwise, you take damage equal to the killer's attack value plus 1. So I'm going to take 2, put 3 damage. She is down to 1 health. But because I'm down to 1 health, I get an extra die, which helps. If you take damage, discard an item. I have no items. And then the behemoth disappears. Man, these ghosts are like not cool. All right, that is it. No victims, so no panic phase. Upkeep phase. All of these cards go back to their respective spots. And search is here. Weak attack is a 0 and short rest is 0. All right, so all I have is a search and a close call. I can't do anything. My time goes back up to 6, so I can buy some cards, which is what I'm going to have to do. So I can't search. And I can't move. So this is not good. As a matter of fact, nope, never mind. Talking out loud. So, yeah, that was, I should have bought a sprint but I bought a search. You know what? I'm gonna retro. I'm gonna get rid of the search and get the sprint because I can't do anything unless I move. So. Let's do that. So I'm going to roll 3 dice for the sprint. Remember, I got the 3rd die because I'm down to 1 health. And I got a single star. And a single star, move up to 2 spaces. It will let me move 1 there. And this is not good for me. I think I'm getting ready to die. Actually, hold on. I'm going to play the reroll any 1 horror dice. I'm going to reroll 1 of these. And I got the exact same thing. So I can move 1, which I did. And that was the sprint. So that's all I can do. I have I lost 1 time, so I have 5. I'm going to buy a guard for 2. I'm down to 3, and a retaliate. Well, guard. I'm going to buy both guard cards for 2. I'm down to 1, and I'll buy a re-roll. And I'm going to show you why I'm buying those in a second, because I'm getting ready to get attacked. All right. Now it is the killer's turn. The killer will target the nearest enemy, which happens to be this one. But here's the problem. The boot will allow it to move 2 spaces. 1, 2. It is now in my spot. And because there is someone there, it will knife. So it knifes me for the last damage. But I have in my hand 2 guard cards. So I will play a guard card and roll to see if I can ignore the damage. I got 2 stars, which says ignore all damage. So it did no damage, and that was the guard card. Did these not go back? These should have gone back. Oh no, they go back at the end of the thing. That's right. So I did 1 guard card. These should have gone back during upkeep. Then I did buy. Yeah, these should have gone back. Close call and sprint. All right, so I didn't have to play the close call, but I've still got another guard, which is going to help. But I have to deal with the terror deck. This drops down 1. Place the broken ladder token covering the ladder on the board. The ladder may no longer be used, and the space connected to it are no longer considered adjacent. The ladder is here, so it is a broken ladder, so I cannot go out that window any longer. Now it is end of the turn, panic phase, no one to panic, upkeep. These cards go back into here, guard, and I go back up to 6. I get all my free cards plus these, and now we can hope for the best. I haven't even been able to search for Carolyn. This is a very difficult mission. All right, so let's see, what do I want to do? I need to get down to where I'm rolling more dice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the focus and see what happens here. I'll turn that into, I'll get rid of weak attack and short rest. Actually, I'm going to keep weak attack, I'm going to keep short rest, and I'm going to get rid of walk. And turn one of these to a star. So this goes down 1, and I lose 1 time. The reason I didn't get rid of the short rest was I need it. I'm going to play short rest. And I rolled a single star. Do I want to I'm going to play close call to re-roll this one. And I didn't get anything good. I could get rid of guard and focus to get 2 hearts, which I will do. I'm going to change one of these to a star. I'll get 2 hearts back. And and then I can play the walk. Hold on. I'm going to play the walk. That's the last thing I can do. I didn't lose any time on the short rest, which is good. So roll 3 dice. Star and a star. Move up to 2 spaces, but the wind makes it 1. So I will move here, which is really unfortunate because that character is getting ready to die. That's not cool. So no, well, I didn't know that. So, oh boy. I could still win this. So what I'm going to do is instead of moving to this one, I'm going to move here. I need to go up. I'm going to go up here to this. I'm going to try to get this victim and search. That's the end of my turn. That's the end of my turn. I have 5 time left. I will get a search card for 2. I'm down to 3. I will get I need a sprint for 2. I'm down to 1, and I'll get a reroll for 1. That's it. Killer's turn. Killer will target the nearest victim. This one, move and slice. And that one is gone. And Bloodlust goes up. Now the creature moves 3. That is the end of that turn. There's no panic phase, upkeep phase. All these cards go back into their respective places. And it is now my turn. And all I've got is these 3 cards and 6 time to deal. I will move. I'm going to attempt to move, so I will do a sprint. I got 3 stars, so I can move 2 spaces. So I'm going to go, hey, you, come with me. Actually, there's a search. You can't split the move. I can't search and then move. So I go 1, 2, and I say, get out of here. I'm going to use this to get a search action card. Actually, I'm going to use it to get 2 time. 1, 2. So this lowered me by 1, and then that took me up to 2. So now I'm at 7. I'm on the ground now. That's used. I cannot use a search, and I cannot use the close call. They don't really benefit me. So that's it. I'm done. I have 7 to spend. I will buy a long rest for 5, which knocks me down to 2. And I'm going to use a guard for 2 because I think that guy's going to come after me. And that is it. I'm down to 0, the end of the turn. His turn. He will move to the nearest victim. He moves 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Oh my! He's gonna beat me there. There's no way I can get up there in time. So really, once he gets all the victims, it's just find Carolyn and get out of here. And I don't know which of these piles Carolyn is in. So, not good. I'm closest to the garage, so I'll probably start there. It is now upkeep phase. All these cards. So hold on. No, terror. Sorry, terror card. Unseen Forces, Minor Dark Power. Okay, so this is the first time I've encountered one. This is a purple card, so it goes up here at the top, and it gives them a special ability. If Carolyn is with you, discard and draw the next terror. She's not. Your first space moved each action phase is panicked. So anytime I move into a space where there's a victim, they're going to panic. Discard when you find Carolyn. So I don't really have to worry about that card because these guys are getting ready to die, and I've just got to find Carolyn. And I've got one search card to do it. All right, so now it is panic phase, nothing. Upkeep phase, sprint goes back. I get all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus these 3. I've got 9 cards. Let's get to the garage. I need to do a... What I want to do is a focus. I want to do a focus. I got 1 star, which allows me to drop this to 1. So that's going to give me a 4th dice, and I lose a time. It goes from 6 to 5. All right. That was worth it. Now, I'm going to do a sprint. Do I have a sprint? I do not. All I've got is 2 walks, which is not good. That's not going to get me to where I need to be because I can only move 1 space with a walk. So let's just see what happens. Well, rather than burn the walks... Let's do what we can. Short rest. Short rest. I roll 4 dice. I got 2 stars. That's what I needed, so I get 2 hearts back. So I'm back to full health. And I still haven't revealed what this is yet, so I could have more health. That goes away. What else can I do? That was a short rest. I could have done a long rest. Darn it. But I'll hold on to that one. Short rest was good. The long rest really wasn't needed because I only needed to bring back 2 health. So guard, search, close call, weak attack, walk, and focus. Let's do the focus again and try and lower this. I got 2 stars, so I get to lower this 2. It can only go down 1, so you bump it, which means I get an extra time. But remember, I gained 2 because I rolled the 2 stars, so that was a good use of that. What else can I do? Search, close call, weak attack, walk. I guess now I do the walks. So I've got 4 dice. I got a single star, which allows me to move up to 1 space. All of your moves of 2 or more. So I'm not moving 2 or more, so I move 1 space. Now I move, and I lose, I rolled 1, I lose a time, so I'm down to 7. I'm going to use the other walk. And I got a star, so I can move into the house. And I lose a time, so I'm down to 6. And there's really nothing else I can do. That is the end of my turn. I have 6 to spend. I am going to buy another search for 2. So I'm down to 4. And then what I need to do is the planning. Planning is 4. That knocks me down to 0. That is all I do. Planning allows you to add extra dice to your roll. So that's really cool. Or was it improvise I want? Until this end, all 3s and 4s successes. Horror roll. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah. I'll take planning. All right, so that is it. These go in my hand. It is the end of my turn. It is now the killer's phase. The killer will move 2 up to 3. 1, he's in the attic, and then he will stab. He takes care of 1 victim. This moves up. Oh, man. And now I reveal a terror card. The windows and doors just slam shut. If you are inside, you may not move during the next action phase. If you are outside, you may not enter the house during the next action phase, and you pull an event. So you draw another event. Curiosity killed the people. Place 3 new victims in the foyer and panic them immediately. The foyer is where I am at. 3 victims. So the way you do the panic is the room has numbers that you roll a die and it tells you where they go, and you do them individually. So the first victim, I rolled a 5, which is going to be outside. They flee outside. Second victim is a 6, which also flees outside. This is pretty good. And the third and final victim, 6 moves out. All these guys are outside right where I want them to be. All I've got to do is get out there, but I can't move this turn. But hopefully they will stay there. All right, that was the terror card, which drew an event card. Now it is the panic phase. There is a victim where the killer is, so they will panic. You roll a d6. I rolled a 3, which means they flee down here. Upkeep phase. All of these cards go back into the tableau, and I get my card. It starts back at 6. I'm rolling 3 dice. And I no longer roll the 4th because I'm back to full health. I don't get this bonus anymore. All right. Let's see. Where am I? I'm down here. I cannot move this phase. So I can't use... well, I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy a sprint or a walk. So I will need that for next turn. So on my turn, I cannot do a planning, search, long rest, guard, search, close call. I can't do anything. Can't do anything. So with this 6 time left, I'm going to buy a... The retaliate doesn't help because you don't do damage to the bad guy. You can't kill him. I could buy a sprint for 2. I'll buy that. And I'm down. How many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have 8 cards. I can buy 2 more. I have 4 time. I will buy another sprint for 2. 1, 2. And I will buy a close call for 1. And I think that's all I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. 10 cards. That is the end of my planning phase. It is now the killer phase. The killer will move and kill. And this bumps this up. This moves up 1, but thankfully I'm still rolling 3 dice. And he now does 2 damage, and he moves 4 spaces. So he's going to be chasing me all over this map. I can now move. So it is my turn. There's no planning phase, upkeep phase. These, well, I would normally get these back, but I don't get them because I have 10 cards. So first thing I want to do, obviously, is I can't do a focus. I'll do a sprint because I want to get these victims out of here. I rolled a single star, which allows me to move up to 2 spaces, -1. So I'll tell 2 of these to get out of here. This one says take a search action card, which I've got them all. But it does allow me to flip this over, and let's see what she's get. When resolving a search action, roll 2 additional dice. Cool. All right. These go up here. There's 1 victim left, which doesn't really help me, but it will keep him from moving up to the maximum bloodlust, which is 3 damage, 4 movement. All right, now I get to play cards. So I moved, and I told him to get out. Oh, I can tell this one to get out too. I mean, once you've got them there, the rules say you just tell them to get out of here. Now it's just me and the ghost. So I need to get to this garage and do a search. And there's like 4 cards or 5 cards, so it's not in my favor. Let's do a sprint. Let's see how fast we can get there. I rolled a star and 2 of these, so I need to move 2 spaces. So I will get rid of the weak attack, and I'll get rid of I need the searches. I'll get rid of the long rest. I can't use it. I'm at full health, so that allows me to turn this to a star, and 2 stars will allow me to move up to 2. 1, 2. Now, and that burns 1 time. So I'm at 6. Now I'm down to 5. Actually, I already used a sprint, didn't I? All right, I was here. I used a sprint to get here. Now I used another sprint. So I lose 2 times. So now I'm down to 4 times. I don't have a walk, so I can't move anymore. I can't search. I can't plan. I can't guard. That's the end. That's it for me. So now it is planning phase. I get to buy cards. I can take the walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll need the walks. 7, 8. 7, 8. I want to buy the guard for 2. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I've got 9 cards. Do I want anything else? I've got 2 left, so about all I can buy. There's nothing else I can buy, so I'll just take another freebie card for, I'll take the Focus. And that is the end of my turn. It is the victim's turn. Now I'm the only one left on the map. So the creature will always move towards me. It can move 4 spaces per boot. So it's going to move towards me, 1 boot, 4 spaces. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man, he's coming at me. All right. Draw a terror card. If there are no victims on the board, there are not. Discard and draw the next terror card. Something unholy. Roll a die. Depending on the result, place the killer in that room. On a 1 to 3, it's the attic. On a 4 to 5, it's the closet. And on a 6, it's the ballroom. I really, really want the attic, 1 to 3. And I got a 4, which is the closet, which is right here. So the killer is bumped up there. That gives me a little breathing room. Unfortunately, there's only 1 terror card left. When that card is revealed, I am going to have to flip over this card, which is not good. All right, it is now my turn. The upkeep, these all go back. Sprint is 2, 2, long rest is 5, and weak attack, it goes to the 0. All right, I've got some stuff here. So first off, we need to get to the garage. So all we can do is a walk. I need a star. I got it. I got the single star. I got double star, which moves 2 spaces, 1, and it loses a time. So I go from 6 to 5. But the good news is I am there. So now I can do a search. I have 2 search cards. I will play the first search card. And her special ability says, when resolving a search, roll 2 additional dice. I got a whole bunch of stars. I got 3 stars. So it says, take the top 2 items at your location. I am in the garage, which is this one. Take the top 2 cards. 1, 2. Oh, I found Carolyn. No, I did it. And it says, place the other on the top, face up, or underneath, face down. I'll put the shotgun here, man. I am done. No, that was too pure luck. All right. So now I got to get out of here. And I think I can do this because 1, 2, 3. I got to move 3 spaces. That's all I can do. But this thing's coming at me. Do I have any more walks? I do. I have 1 more walk. I have Carolyn. So this special ability goes away. When Carolyn joins you, remove all minor dark power. I did that. You must escape with her to win the game. She cannot be killed or discarded for any reason. You cannot place her in your backpack. All right, so she takes up a hand. So if I had a weapon, if I had a 2-handed weapon, I'd have to give it up because I have to hold her hand to escort her out. So the search, that was good. The search is done. Now I just need to get out of here. I've got to walk, and I do not have a sprint. So let's... I'm not doing a search anymore, so I'm back down to 3 dice. Can I do anything about that? Planning. Hold on. Planning for the next horror, because no, walk will only get me 1 space, so there's no point in spending this. I got a star, so I can move 1 space. The search also took me a time. I'm down to 3 time. This will allow me to move 1 space, so I'm right here with Carolyn. This goes away. I have nothing that I can do. Okay. It's upkeep phase, or it's the planning phase where I spend the time. I got 3. I'll buy a sprint. I'm going to need that. And that knocks me down to 1. There's no rerolls to buy. I guess I could take I have a weak attack, a focus, and a short rest. I'll take the short rest. I might need it if he starts wailing on me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 cards in my hand. All right. Killer turn. Killer moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man. Here we go. This is bad. Draw the last terror. Discard a random item. All right, it says Carolyn cannot be killed or discarded. If you have no items, discard and draw the next terror card. There are not. And then, oh, this is not good. The victim, the killer moves. The killer moves here and takes a knife attack. The knife attack does 4 damage. But, tell me, I got a guard. I have a guard card. And I rolled, oh, that's not good. I need some stars. So the killer's going to do 4 damage. I need to ignore all of that. So I need to turn 2 of these to stars. I will do search and focus to turn 1 to a star. I will do, I need to keep my sprint. I need to keep the planning. I need to keep a close call and a guard. So that gives me short rest and close call to get rid of this one. And that ignores all damage. So that was good. So now it is the end of the killer phase, terror phase. Did that. What did I do with that card? This gets flipped. Relentless Assault. Place the Poltergeist in your space, and it does 2 attacks. Oh, man. It does 2 attacks. But that's on its turn. Sorry, that does not happen until the next turn because it was revealed at the end of the... You do the terror card last after the... and so it flips this over, and this is what the killer does at the beginning of its turn. I know that for a fact. All right, so I can do this. It is my turn. All I've got is a sprint, planning, close call, and guard. Now, here's the planning. This will allow me to add extra dice to this roll. I need to roll really well here. I did. I rolled 2 stars. 2 stars say I get to add 3 dice to my next roll. So not only am I using 3 dice normally, now I get to roll 3 more dice. So I did the... planning is gone, and it burns no time. So I still have sprint and close call. So I get to roll all of these. The sprint will allow me to move 2 spaces. If I can get 2 stars, 1, 2, and it's an exit, I can leave. And I get a reroll. I need 2 stars here. Come on. And I got them. I got 2 stars, so I yell to Carolyn, come with me. 1, 2, and I could have re-rolled. Let's see if I roll a star. I didn't, so I'm glad I got that. So I managed to get to the exit, and we escape, and that is the end of the game. I won my first game. Well, technically that's not true. I won the first game I played because I died, but the bad guy died, and it says you win because you make the ultimate sacrifice. But this time, I actually survived and got out. The cool thing is now I get to reveal one of these secret cards, which I've never done. I'm playing Selena. Selena has a little special envelope that came with the game, and it says, here it is, for Selena's eyes only. So you open this, and it's usually a card just for her. Oh, it's 2 items. No, it's just 1 item. This item may only be used when Selena is chosen as the final girl. So whenever I use her, to incorporate Selena's flashlight, simply shuffle it into the chosen location deck of item cards before setup. If you'd rather ensure it is present in your game, deal out the appropriate number of items, less 1, then shuffle her flashlight ends. So you can choose to... Now, her flashlight is, once per action phase, you may look at the top card of the terror deck, leave it on top, or place it at the bottom. You can discard this card while in a search room to take the top item card. So it's an automatic grab of an item. Only Selena may use this item. That is very cool. So I'm going to keep that with her card. And that's really cool that they give you these little bonuses. All right, that was cool. My heart is sort of racing because I really thought I was going to not make it. I mean, almost maximum for the terror or the bloodlust. I thought Carolyn was in this stack. I know the dog or the pet was, I think the pet was one of these. Yeah, Mr. Floppy was in this pile. But I just had a feeling because the attic was so far away from me that the attic was going to be where Carolyn was. So that was a total surprise and very happy. Did get Carolyn out. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have been watching my Final Girl videos and you like them, let me know. I want to keep playing this game, but if people aren't interested, maybe I'll just play it privately and won't share it. But it is such a cool game, and it is a solo game, so you can play it at any time you want to play it, and it really does give you that tense that tenseness that you just, I mean, it kept me constantly on my toes that I didn't know what was going to happen. So that was a very fun game. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on my first survival of Final Girl. I will be back soon with another video. We'll play another location and another bad guy. And until then, everybody, take care.